with Tony T. Yes, Ramon SEO. To the double T, be funnelin' these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The bonus team is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game. It's sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.
And a pleasant good morning to you from from Las Vegas, from the sports betting capital of the world, from Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott. Welcome to the morning's team. Let me get squared away here. Watching a great match here right now. I almost missed the start. I did miss the start time. Got a nice match going on here right now in Rome between Tommy Paul and Hubie Hurkacz here in the third set, but Hurkacz has started to take control here, and I'm enjoying some tennis and NFL schedule release. I guess that's the big news. It's not part of our program here with our sports picks, but certainly was, something of big interest yesterday, despite what we saw with our playoff games and our baseball yesterday. So how'd your teams do? Christmas is on Wednesday this year. That much I learned. And we'll have the Chiefs and the Steelers, the Ravens and the Texans on your Netflix. How about that? We already gave you, of course, that information about those Europe games yesterday. So we were kind of on top of that. I thought, and there were some other tidbits I saw about this schedule 4 times. I was like, there's no double header on the first Monday Night Football. Oh, bummer. But, we have that special game on Friday. So but there's 4 Monday Night Football doubleheaders. So that's pretty cool this year, I thought, as well. Pittsburgh Steelers play all their division games after the bye. And I guess some teams will have 13 teams will play. Well, I don't know. The 4 days rest, the one where there's going to be, good thing they're wearing those special helmets this year. I don't know if and we'll see how many do it. Hi, everybody. Want to say hello? But if you caught wind, this year you can legally wear in an NFL game the padded helmet on top of your head, that is much bigger with the little pads. And they have this, it'll look better, with the logo. It probably won't look too obnoxious, but you can wear the special padding on your head starting this year. I wonder if that'll, trip anybody out when it starts. But got the schedule. And let's say hello to everyone coming in as we get ready for the action here on Thursday. Kind of a light card, right? We have 3 playoff games. We've got just 6 baseball games. We've got a big WNBA game. Every game is big in the WNBA. How could they not want it any better? WNBA, most watched opening night game since 2001 or 2004, whatever. Big time. And you thought that was big. I'm talking about the Indiana Fever game on opening night. You thought that was big? Well, tonight they're playing the New York Liberty. I imagine they'll smash that record tonight. Let me say hello to Team Steam coming in, including Dre over here with what was I going to say about the DMV? What was the big news here? Oh, Pimlico Dre. I wonder if Dre has spent a Saturday in May out there with the porta potties, and just read an interesting story though, actually, how Maryland is going to resurrect Pimlico. They're going to end up shutting down Laurel after Pimlico moves their meet there for a couple years. They're going to try to resurrect the neighborhood and make Pimlico a big deal again. They're going to use actually government money to pump up Pimlico and pump up that neighborhood a little bit. I just thought it was very interesting. And they'll just have Pimlico. Laurel is going away, but good to have Dre. He could tell me. I'm just trying to put the story into synopsis. I don't know if he's following it, but it is Preakness week after all, and the favorite was scratched yesterday. So maybe we get that Triple Crown. All right. Jeff is here. Thomas Lewis here. Curtis, hello. And 1K Protection Firm 60 is here today. Mischa, here's our Tom's here today. And Jeff, ready to, can we talk soccer and maybe some PGA? They're underway in the PGA, so I don't know. I guess there's still 3 balls to go off, but I do know that let me see if I have I went pretty light here. I'm just looking at maybe 2 futures and maybe look, Scotty at plus 110 to finish in the top 5. I mean, if there's some chalk out there that I'm willing to go a little bit big on, maybe Scotty in the top 5, maybe a little bit bigger Scotty in the top 10. But I mean, how can he be a can't miss right now? Don't want to play him to win this thing at 4-1, 4.5 to 1, but I think there's a strong possibility, and at even money. That's my one chalk there. And as far as long shots are concerned, I only wanted 2. Wyndham Clark, 40 or 45 to 1. Wyndham Clark is kind of like, that's my, I don't know if I liked any of the odds inside of Wyndham Clark with some of these guys right here. I do. The only angle that I could get out of this, Jeff, is and I hope I don't disrespect anybody in the chat, but never fade the guy coming off a divorce, if you know what I mean. Maybe Rory, maybe the odds, you talk about maybe it's baked into the odds. Rory, 7.5, 8 to 1. Never fade the guy coming off of the same week divorce. So maybe Rory in the favorite category, but I don't like any of these guys. I don't know about Brooks at 13 to 1. Shoffley, hey, maybe he's still my favorite guy out there right now, but not at 15. I don't think Rahm, none of these guys. Everybody's talking about Oberg. Maybe his odds are getting too low for a guy who hasn't won. Wyndham Clark has some winning experience, and it's really come recently over the last couple of years here in some quality fields. Everyone else I have excuses for inside 50 to 1. It feels like. So Wyndham Clark, I'm just playing to win. I didn't really get too fancy with this week's tournament, to be quite frank. Maybe it's because of the nature of this event. And I did have one real outside long shot here. Let me see if I can kind of get it here. I'm just looking up and of course it is Lucas Glover, 200 or more to 1, 200 to 1 plus. Lucas Glover, that's my long shot pick. So really, that's what I played. 3 plays. I didn't play any matchup, although I think Glover in his matchups, you can get some Glover. If his 3 ball didn't go off, I think he was probably at least $2 in the long shot in a 3 ball. I just didn't look at the times. I didn't play it, but thank you, Jeff. And it is a big tournament, but that's my strategy in this one. I would tell you, even with the tournament having gone off, if I played more, I would. It's not hard to get picks out of me, but that's what I did. And our Tom's talking hockey here with us. How about the Avs? Put me in my place, man. I might want to go back to the drawing board after last night's hockey game, but certainly the Avs kind of sticking around here now in this one with a 5-3 victory. Cale Makar gets a couple of goals, extending that series here. I might be okay with that. Wasn't okay with the result. Whiffed on both side and total there. So we'll see if what I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You guys tell me in the next one. But we got our 2 games tonight. Certainly, we'll talk about them. Winning wager here. Fiddlehead is here, and Justin is here. Kay is here, and good morning. Okay, Trey has been to Pimlico once, and I hope he didn't take it the wrong. But Dre's not a spring chicken anymore. But yeah, he's still a young guy. I see him there, But certainly, hey, even I would have got caught up in running on top of the porta potties and having a good time out there. And look, that Pimlico. The Preakness needs to be in at Pimlico. The Preakness needs to be in Maryland, and I know I'm going to be a proponent of horse racing. Maybe I'm just an old gambler, and you know, I guess there are better ways to use your thoroughbred horses, even though they're born in the wild and going to be running. That's what wild horses do. All right. Looks like I'm caught up in the chat. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com unless we want to talk a few more results from last night, including Oklahoma City and Dallas yesterday. And, looks like with Dallas picking up that impressive victory on the road, really stymieing Oklahoma City here. So, well, we were able to get to the total. We had the total right in that one. We also had a premium pick winner. Foremost with Boston. If you didn't get it, I really apologize. Think we had the right side in the end. Maybe Cleveland just a little bit too tough in the first half to truly get the overall cover. We sent it out at 14.5, and I'm sure that a lot of people were over maybe on the 15s or more, but really tough spread, obviously, and felt like that was the right play, but really proud of Evan Mobley and his 33-point effort, even if he did get that late basket to kind of cost a spread for everybody. But 33 points, I think it shows that Evan Mobley will be a good player in the future. Everybody, kind of said that Evan needs to, pick up the offense a little bit, work on his offensive game. And it was a playoff game, and he had a big, big game. So that was cool. And, but Boston is the first to advance in the postseason. So they really did away with Cleveland, and already the Cleveland speculation is starting on what's going to happen with the Cavaliers, because all of a sudden the Cavaliers were a team that, hey, we built this team and maybe it's pretty good. And now all of a sudden they're like, maybe we've stalled here and we can't beat the Celtics. Look, you're dealing with the Celtics. I don't know how much better you can get if you're the Cavs. Toughness looks like an issue with the team, certainly. Got to have a little bit of. All right. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com unless you've got, let me see what else we can, drum up. We just had the one hockey game. Here we go. I'm going to take a look at who was hot with the handicappers, and it was Steven Duncan. He catches hockey pick. I should be watching his hockey. I do watch his hockey picks. What do you mean? I got them right. I could tell you what they are right here for tonight's games, but I want you to watch his videos. Certainly here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. He has great videos that also have some derivatives on there, some first period lines, other types of bets as well. So just a real good handicap every day from Steven. And he went 11-4-1 with other sports as well. Nick Lagaretto's big day here. Tony T continues to roll 4-0 right there. Man, Tony's been hot. Scott there. Doubles, our man here up 4 units yesterday. Bo Dunn, everyone's crushing yesterday. Bo 5-1. Joseph Schultz 4-1. Hey, there I am. I'm up there. What is that? 7-4. That's like 64%. So I'm up there for a winning day. Tony's Picks VIP, EPA Sports Hoops 3-1. Daniel Walasachuk won his only play. Mindy Hahn 3-2. 2 old ladies at Bet Consensus 2-1. Sean Ace Dinwiddie shows a profit, and so does Ben Ruhala. All right. over the last 7 days, it's Tony T, 18-11, on top of the handicapper leaderboards. Hit him up at tonyspicks.com. Use the promo code, get this, Tony T at checkout to save 20%. The man here with 7.5 units of profit, Danny Dimes, 80% here over the last week. Ruben Marlborough up 3 units. Mindy Hahn is up 270, and 2 old ladies at Bet Consensus. Last 30 days, Ruben Marlborough, come to Marlborough country. You'd be up 19.5 units over the last 30 days. Tony T's up 15 units. Over the last 30 days, Nick Lagaretto's 10.5 units. 2 old ladies at Bet Consensus up there as well, almost 9 units. And Bo Dunn, 6.5 units of profit over the last 30 days. Head to tonyspicks.com, use the promo code Tony T at checkout. I've already loaded up plays for today for the subscribers, and I'll have a package also for today. I've got a play in soccer. I know Jeff was asking about it. It's a pretty light card. We're in Spain today, so you can check it out over at tonyspicks.com and maybe pick me up for 3 days here, but I'll have a package later on. It includes the playoffs for tonight and some baseball, where we had premium pick winners yesterday on the diamond here as well, including the Baltimore Orioles in walk-off fashion. We also had the Cubs and the Braves under for a premium pick winner. We also had the Yankees on the road premium pick winner. Thanks for listening. And let's get going with some more comments, and we'll start our coverage. Law Dog is here today. And Peter Mack got a pick for us in, and he's got Bryson here, top 10. I mean, we'll see if this weather holds. I think we're expecting weather, and it could help the Bombers really in the end, but we'll see how that falls. And Thomas, like and smash here on the Tony Speaks YouTube channel, the 40,000 subscriber juggernaut. Light card, let's get it rolling here. And winning wager, which horse are you looking at? Give me one more day. Winning wager. And I'll analyze the field again. But you guys are just as good as this one in a pick for me. Again, I'm not an everyday player at all the tracks right now, just mostly sticking to the majors. I like to hang out certainly in New York, in Southern California, in Kentucky, mostly a little Florida, and just casually during the day. All right, here we go with the coverage. The soccer. Jeff was asking about the soccer. Look, I have one play today, and I don't know, there were 2 other games. There's Betis and Las Palmas, Barcelona and Almeria, and Valencia and Sociedad. Man, Terrell, he's making us all look old here. But man, Sunday silence that feels like that sends chills up your spine. When the races were big, right? Thomas, right? You're right, Thomas. Yep. And then once in a while, Thomas, someone, we get some story, like the trainer that has been doing it for 30 years and never won a big race, or a jockey that gets on the right ride for the right time, and and just has his day. So it can make it still special. All right, let's get to the coverage here. Some Mets team coming in right there. Just wanted to report on here. Philadelphia is going to be pretty popular, and the Mets are taking some action here. But we'll get to it in just a moment. There's one day game as well. So I was thinking maybe under in Betis. Under in Betis. Maybe that'll be my play on the show here. Betis and Las Palmas. I think that was I was just considering some totals, obviously. You know me and those totals. But in the one of the matchups there in Spain with Las Palmas and Real Betis. At uh, the games with Las Palmas at home have gone 5-12 to the under this season, including 6 straight games. So obviously, the way it's going, I mean, Las Palmas has been losing every game. They're awful, and they probably will have a hard time scoring. So maybe it'd be 2-0. Betis can win, or maybe 1-0. And then maybe I was thinking under in Valencia and Sociedad, but it is mostly 2.25 right now. Sociedad has been pretty hot, especially when they're favored, but under in 5 straight matchups between these two teams. Yeah, I might be leaning under. I don't think I have anything, but there you go, a little bit. All right. And good to see here joining us in the chat from the Who Bangin' Sports Network. It's DJ Big Boss joining us here. No, Big Boss. I think they're going to want to see what's going on here as we get close. But yeah, books are balking here on these UFL games for this week. All 8 games. Haven't seen anything yet. That's crazy. And Ray's here, so. All right. Let's get going. We'll be here just an hour. I don't think many more than 30 minutes here today. And yeah, winning wager. I want to come back. I want to come on with Bob. I mean, I already was here to complain about Bob not being invited to Kentucky again, and said, hey, you don't have the best field if you don't have Bob Baffert. Bob Baffert served his 2-year suspension after he dropped his appeals or his lawsuits or whatever. Just said, you know what, I'm over it. What can I do? They're not going to change anything with my previous wins. So, and then just on top of it, they're like, hey, by the way, why don't you just sit out another year because we don't want you to win this year either. So, it's we know it's a bit of a shisty game, but with someone who's done a lot for bringing a lot of money into your sport, I get it. Bob's, I still like Bob. He's very approachable. If you've ever been out there in Southern California, I'm just like a wannabe guy hanging out in the paddock sometimes, with my phone and stuff, thinking I'm cool. All right. And I worked in the TV truck for 5 years at Del Mar, running the graphics machine. And then here I am. All right. Here we go. Shout out if you're watching Todd T. If you're there, Ice Cold Exacta, all the gang. Love those guys. All right. Here we go. Started off with coverage here with the Nuggets and the Timberwolves tonight. And oh gosh, we can't get in 5 seconds into the show without having a big typo in the first line there. It's 2.5, of course, and actually it's also 204.5. That's not necessarily a typo. It did dip down there a little bit. I thought to as low as 202.5, but I don't know if it was when I typed these in last night. Didn't feel like it. All right, but here we go. And, is it panic time? Is it over for the Wolves? I don't want to talk about myself, but, well, there is only one guy on this show. So about ready to just mail it in with the Timberwolves. I was taking a victory lap. Oh, man, everyone's calling the Timberwolves the champs after the first 2 games, and I'm ready to cash my, my modest little $50 Minnesota Timberwolves 40-1 NBA championship or whatever. Or what? Oh no, it was before the 24-1 before the season, and thought, well, great job, Ramon. Good picking there, and talked to Burler about my Anthony Edwards MVP. That was That might have been the 40-1. I think that's what it was before the season. But nonetheless, it's all turned the other way as uh, Joker has just been totally dominant, really looking strong. Everyone's making fun of Rudy again, like it's back in the pandemic, and this guy is a bigger problem than a benefit. Even I was like, "Oh, Rudy, this is great! What a great time he's having here in these first two games. He's looking good." And I'm just on a bandwagon watching the games like ever. I couldn't see it. I'm not working for some team in analytics. I don't know that the Nuggets are going to figure it all out in game 3, that an incident where maybe Jamal Murray should have been suspended for a game and not on the floor. I don't think so. I think, fine is fine. I think he was fined quite a bit. I think it was an appropriate fine, but I don't think it was worthy of a suspension, actually. Especially, it's not like someone with a history through it. So all of a sudden now the Nuggets have come back looking great, like they've figured it all out. The Wolves are going to be back at home. I mean, this is it. They've got to win now. So you're going to get that out of them. I think if you look at history of these type of games, it would point you to the Timberwolves, actually. But it just feels like maybe on the court, to me, the way Joker's looking, man, you've got everyone, when the final horn blows and everyone starts talking trash at Anthony Edwards, it's really the rest of the team that hasn't performed for Minnesota. In fact, I would imagine that tonight we could see Edwards score as many as 40 or more points, but the Wolves may be limited to as many as only 90 or something, right? He might score maybe he'll score close to half the team's points because of the non-production of the rest of this lineup, especially if they're missing a player like Mike Conley, who really is a glue guy. There are a lot of players in the league. We want to always check their status. I would think that Mike Conley in a playoff game sometimes is really a big impact, even more so than some of the top players in the league for a regular season game, if you will. So I'm going to end up on the under as my pick here in this, especially at 204.5. I feel like here we are looking at a series where, look, we've seen high scores still from these teams, but it's not like the bookmakers are scared or anything, and they're not, pushing the number down, or back up at 209, even like some of these games in this series. It's a game 6, and yeah, it snuck over, getting beat on some of these when I've gone under here in game number 5. I went under, and it went to 209, and I went under in game 3, and it went to 207, and it was 205 on that one. But for me, it's just going to be an under here. And hey, maybe the Wolves can do it. I got this ticket. It's not on the floor. It's not in the trash. It's not on Scrub Hub or Ticket Pub or Ticket Cash or any of these. It's $50, but it's still a pretty nice payday. Minnesota could use that kind. Could use a little something. But how about the one gentleman who caught a lot of social media attention here over the last couple of days in showing his ticket where he cashed out using the Timberwolves as well, right? He had a 3-teamer or 3-leg parlay of championship teams, I think it was, and it was, had Kansas City on it, and it had one of the other championship teams. I'm just coming to the story now. I'm thinking about it, and I can't think of which other major sport it was, if it was baseball or hockey. But he had another and then tied it in, and it was going to be a $100 bet that was going to win one point. I don't know what he took 80,000. He took the cash out for 80,000, and prop the companies that analyze those tickets, those futures tickets, to try to get them, paid off for you if you wanted to get out of them, said, yeah, cool, and hey, you feel scared, you got to click that button, and there are other issues when you click that button. So maybe you owe money here, your balance is there, whatever. But they said, he really could have gone to one of those ticket swapping companies on the internet or something, and probably got about 200,000 for it, given where the status was in the series. So maybe you guys can help me out. I kind of blew that story. Here come your picks. And it is Denver and over here as we get started with Dre. Denver and over for Thomas. Brent's on the Nuggets. And 100K, Matt. Is that what it was only? No, that's not. We might be talking about something else. Because it was over, like I said, the other company said you get 200. He cashed out for 80, but I thought it was like either 400,000 or could it have been 1.1 million maybe? Or no, I think I'm getting that confused with the Porter bet. And that's a whole nother issue. But I was reading the story about that, thinking that all along that the sports book would offer someone, even if it was just Joe Blow off the street, the ability, even if it was a VIP, to place an $80,000 wager, SGP, putting together a bunch of unders on one player. That's your gaming commission will look at you funny and say, you know what, sportsbook, we're siding with you, but yeah, that's just bad business right there. Yeah, 3 overs in a row, and this total is still low. Am I that guy? I'm always that guy, winning wager, right? That I'm still like, hey, if they're lowering it, it's got to be for a reason, type of thing. Or should we look at it the other way? I don't think so in this one, right? I mean, I've got a problem with Minnesota's offense right now for sure. The Nuggets don't want to get a Game 7 going, but at least they are secure in knowing that it would be at home. Wolves will extend the series, says Darren. And, maybe, what could I get out? Should I do it? I'll go like, hey, I'll get off of my $50. What else here? Yeah, what has happened? I mean, the Timberwolves, a funny thing happened when they named the Wolves the NBA champions last week. Timberwolves and under here. I don't know what Matt says. Joker mad. Joker is mad. He dunking champs have been. I want to get that right. And we know Joker can barely dunk, but that's the funny thing about Joker and how awesome he is, right? He's incredible. Yeah, Terrell. Always. It's always the case, but. Okay, Lazzy Love. Peasy's here as well. Yeah, and Rudy Gobert. What has happened to the defensive guy? Got defensive player of the year earlier this week. He looks like one of the softest players in the league all of a sudden. Jamal Murray's looking, right? He just squared up his attitude. We all get mad, and it looks like he's made the most of he channeled that anger. Okay, I guess you guys are done with the pick. I'll make the pick, and I'm going to go under one more time. And look, because it keeps sneaking over. That's why it's a free pick here. Got beat on the premium a little bit, trying to get cute. I'm still trying to get cute. I think it's going to be probably right there, though. It does feel it's a 2-point game, man. 198 either way it could be. It feels like to me 109. Because like I said, it just feels to me like the Wolves. It's going to be like they're going to be saying at the end of this game, win or lose. Edwards scored 44 and the Wolves scored 99, and they won by 2 or they lost by 2. That's what it feels like it could happen with this game. Now they're at home. If Conley is in. I think that will help disperse the points among the Wolves. He's that huge, right? I mean, this is Mike Conley here, truly one of the most innovative kind of guards in a way that we've seen in this generation to a certain extent. What a career he's had. We don't want to see it end. Okay, that's it for basketball. I think you guys got your comments in. How about we go to hockey and get ready for the Rangers here and the Panthers? We have that panicking feeling for the Panthers. The walls are closing in like you're in a bad Mr. Beast video. Uh, they've got to win this one. There's no getting out. There's no getting away. It's 3-2 right now. But Carolina, they've been coming back here. Momentum's on their side. It feels like if Carolina can win this game, they might this could turn them loose. Now there's a great team, going to be waiting for them just across the way here a little bit. If the Florida can ever get through their series, Boston's in the same position kind of as Carolina's in. These teams coming back here and showing some life, showing heart here. Carolina was supposed to be that that team that was playing so well that they were favored to win this series. And now here's the thing: if they win this game, they're going to be favored in Game 7 on the road at the Rangers. So I don't know what you want to make of that. But I think Handicapper is going to be split here to a certain extent. And for me, I don't know if I can pass on a plus 135 or 140 or whatever it is with a Rangers team that still they look so good at times. And we've seen just some topsy-turvy results where the road team comes out. Now it just look, $1.60 just feels too high to me. And even if you play the puck line, you're laying a tremendous price with the Rangers. It's like the straddle is not good enough. I don't think the right term is a straddle when you're talking about the difference between the puck line price and the money line price. But Carolina is minus $1.60, $1.65 or whatever. And if you want to take the Rangers on the puck line, it's minus $1.95. So, don't want to do that either. You can mix and match. You can play it at 1 or whatever. But my side in this game is going to be the Rangers. I just can't, Carolina at 160 here. They should win. They better win. They can even this series and send it back to New York. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Maybe the Rangers should go back here at home and win it there. Or, like I said, Carolina will probably be the slightest of favorites in that game with Frederick Anderson against Igor here. So you guys have some comments? I've got a premium on the total, obviously. I say obviously. I don't know if you know this, but I have a premium on the total. Panthers for Ray. Oh, is that what I was? I've done that before. Thank you, brother. And how many did I say? Panthers a lot, or did I say Hurricanes? That would really expose me here to a certain extent. But I think okay. Hopefully, we all knew. I know what we're dealing. Well, and of course, I referenced the other series too, talking about the Panthers and the Bruins. So hopefully, I got it all right, and you understood the gist of what I was saying. I know I'm talking about the Hurricanes because I'm talking about how well they've been doing with, with Aho starting to play much, much better now. All of a sudden, for sure, for Carolina, and Gensel as well. Jarvis has been very hot, but I'm still going to try the Rangers as a dog to close it out here. Here we go. Okay. Darren's on the Rangers here. R. Tomp's on the Rangers over. Dre is on the Rangers. Brent might be on the Rangers. Looks like you guys might be, but I might have already screwed. I mean, you guys know better than that. I mean, you guys. Knew what? Don't troll me for putting that up there. But I'll give you another second in case because otherwise it feels like a consensus play. If Thomas is there, it feels like you guys really like the Rangers, but I don't know if you guys are just didn't want to put in her. If you guys are still, making fun of me for putting the word Panthers up there. But we know who's favored. We know it's minus 160. I will say this: the Rangers have won 4 of the last 5 games here in Carolina. 4 of the last 5 games have been won by the Rangers here in the head-to-head series currently. So, all right. No, it just feels like it's a consensus, and I don't want anybody who left out that maybe thought they were saying Hurricanes, but typed Panthers by accident, or were trying to troll me a little bit. Didn't want to discount their votes because certainly the Carolina Panthers, the Carolina Hurricanes, are playing, very well. They're coming back. They put the big scare here into the Rangers, but again, their backs are to the wall. They need to win tonight. So my pick is going to be on the Rangers at the plus price. And Gerardo is here, and I think Thomas will take Carolina here. He might be making fun of me there by calling them Charlotte. All right, Gerardo is on the Rangers as well. And again, maybe it's the Rangers close it out. Okay, that feels pretty good, even though Thomas might be on Carolina. Feels like we've got a lot of Rangers in here. And I think the handicappers may just slightly favor the Rangers in this one, but again, it's just maybe it's a price play. I mean, $1.60. Carolina's still favored here in this series to a certain not in the series now. Let me see what the series price is. But like I said, if it goes to a game 7, Rangers are still minus 230. Remember, they only have to win one of the next 2. But if Carolina were to win this game, I would expect them to be $1.50. They were favored in game 5, $1.15. Why wouldn't they be favored in game 7, barring any kind of situation with an injury or anything? Why wouldn't they be favored in the road in game 7? Maybe it could be a pick 'em just because it's a game 7, but they'll be riding the momentum of another victory. So that may actually keep it 115 or 120. Who knows? All right. Did we get your comments in, Ron G, on the under? Okay. Could be a lot of Rangers here. Yeah. If the Rangers, right, it feels like to me the Rangers will, if Carolina can get goals, in this one and make it some type of game, which is right. I don't know if that's Carolina's game, right? I mean, that's the Rangers' game is to, on the road anyway. I would think the Rangers still can look to keep it a low score. I think they look to keep it a low score if they want to win. I think if it gets into any kind of game where it's going to be 6 goals or more, I think that favors Carolina. So you tell me. I'm always, not the best on that, but that's how I handicap a lot of those totals. So hope it's right. Oilers and Canucks. And, we know this one's not going to end tonight, but what is going to happen tonight with the Canucks now back at home, and they're an underdog here against Edmonton. I'm pretty sure the handicappers are kind of favoring Edmonton here tonight, even at the favored price on the road. And I would think if you're Edmonton here, if you can get Vancouver playing in one of those games where, look, Edmonton went with Picard, crazy enough, right? Because all of a sudden you got Vancouver. They were forced to go to their third string goalie Edmonton here with Picard, and they came through big time. And why wouldn't you go back with them here tonight? The way they confidently won that, and the way they, were with him after that game. But I would think if Vancouver with Hughes here, to me, it feels like if you're Vancouver, you want to make this back into, you better be 1-1 late in the second or something like that. It feels like, but Hughes, Miller, Besser, Patterson. Feels like they're doing pretty well. And if they can look, it's 6 under 20 right now. They've kind of gotten off that 6.5. And if you're Vancouver, and you can keep Edmonton here, if they get to 3 goals, that's going to be a problem. But I don't know. I like Vancouver's chances maybe to at least keep this low, keep them in close. And I'm going to take the under as my play here and think that's what we're going to get. We're going to get some 1-to-1 action well into the second. I feel contrarian. I see your plays coming in already here, and it's going to be Gerardo on the Oilers, but Brent's on the Canucks. R. Thompson, the Oilers. Ron says, watch out. Here's Fiddle over and Darren on the Canucks. I might be the only one so far on the under. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking the under here, and I think Vancouver has to try to get this one if they're going to get this key victory at home in Game 5. If you lose this one, man, remember, you're Vancouver. You're the number one. You're the top team in the Pacific Division, not Edmonton. Fernando under, but he'll take it up to 6.5. Yes, take it up to 6.5. Don't mind the juice. It's a playoff game. We don't have many opportunities left. Edmonton for Dre. All of them. Yelich is here today. All of them have been close. Just take the puck line here. Still, man, it's a big price on that puck line, as it always is in the playoffs. But hey, a lot of times. All right, so for me, I'm on the under here, Edmonton and Vancouver in Game 3. I think I want this series to go 7. I did, tie a little Game 7 action here. All right, that's it. Let's go to the baseball. We can finish this show up here in just a couple of minutes. Brent hates when we go fast at the end, but wasn't it Brent? No, who was it? Man, the Reds and the Dodgers. Here comes some understeam right now in that game with Suter and Glasnow. The 8s are going to be gone here in a second. In Cincinnati and the Dodgers, I'm showing 8 under 25 at Circa. Here's 8 under 15 at Stations. Here's 8 under 20 at the South Point. So this one's going under here. The 7.5s are coming maybe any moment now in the game between the Reds and the Dodgers tonight. Let's go to baseball. Get started with our day game here with the Yankees and the Twins. They're going to get big support from paid handicappers across the internet on the New York Yankees probably in this one. But, hey, check out some videos from our gang today. Bo's got a video on this one as well. And check it out at the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. You got Schmidt here for the Yankees. You've got Ryan for the Twins. And, we talked about it yesterday, the Yankees, and how they continue to dominate. We did have a premium pick winner yesterday on the Yankees to win against the Twins. They continue to win in this series. And just, what can you say? Really just, like I said, playing, winning 2/3 of the games basically in Minnesota for the last, 10 years, it feels like. Thomas Lewis is on the Yankees, and here's winning wager on the Twins. And for Gerardo's going up first 5 under. And Darren's got a Nerfy here, and he also likes the Yankees. Schmidt has allowed a first inning run in 2 of 8 starts. Ryan's allowed a first inning run in 3 of 8 starts. So these guys are definitely above average as far as, not doing well with the Nerfy. But you do have the Yankees, 14 of 44. That's certainly above average for scoring runs in the first inning. And I think the same is true for Minnesota. They're also slightly above average. But you do have Schmidt and Ryan here, both pitchers, pretty solid right now. Schmidt, 2.67 ERA in his last 5 starts. Should say Yankees 7-1 with Clark Schmidt as a starter. Ryan has a 2.84 ERA in his last 3 starts. He's 2-1 in his career with a 3.0 ERA in 3 starts versus New York. Saw a great comeback here by Tommy Paul. He was behind Herkoch 2-0 in the third set. Paul wins it and advances here. Tommy Paul over Hubie Herkoch, 6-3 in the third set. To advance here in Rome today. And coming up just in a moment, we've got more action from Rome with the match of the tournament coming up. If you guys, as soon as we get done with this, let's get off the air and get on over to some Tennis Channel, because you've got Iga taking on Coco Gauff coming up next. That one starts in about 15 minutes. Look, I would imagine that Iga probably can take out Coco, maybe even in straight sets here, but still you want to see Coco maybe come through, make it an exciting match. Iga's just mashing right now, however, but still you've got number 1 in the world, number 3 in the world coming up. Just a few moments later on in Italy, it's going to be Tsitsipas and Yari coming up, and that one I like Tsitsipas to win in straight sets at minus $1.40. And of course, we're going with Diane Collins one more time as an underdog against Sabalenka. Sabalenka is looking pretty awesome. She looked great yesterday, but I'm going to take Danielle Collins rest advantage here. And let's take DC plus $1.40 or so over Sabalenka, my favorite player right now. DC. Luis is on the Yanks. Here's an under first 5. Fiddlehead on the under. Yelich on the Yankees. Ron Murphy, solo under. Dre Twins. All right. Ron says, my bias says fade the Yankees, but you got to bet them here maybe in the first 5, he says. In this one, I better make a pick here. You know what I'm on. I'm on an under. Of course, I'll take the under. You know, you can check out Ron's video. You don't need me to analyze it, and I don't want to give it away, but check him out. Always check out Ron here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel and listen to what he had to say in this one. Mets and the Phillies, and this one just took some steam here. I didn't mention it because we were just kind of coming on to the baseball segment, and it just took steam at 8.5. I'm going to come on here and give out the under, of course, as my play in the game with the Mets and the Phillies. So I guess I've already missed the boat. Wouldn't go with premium now, but I was going to give it out anyways at a pretty good price. But we're already down to, well, we still got 8.5 under 20 at a lot of places. So I do like this one under, actually, with the Mets and the Phillies. Handicapper is going to probably be on the Phillies again here. Philadelphia just continues to roll. I don't know if there's any real reason to necessarily try to outthink it right now the way they're going. Price seems reasonable too. I'm not going to lay it here on the show necessarily, because Quintana, 7.84 ERA, though, in his last 4 starts and an 0-3 record. But still, despite those woes, under 6 of his last 8, 6 of his 8 starts have gone under. And the Mets have lost 15 of their last 22 coming into this one. Taijuan Walker looking for maybe a little bit of improvement here. He has a 4.82 ERA, but in typical Taijuan Walker fashion, he's won all 3 of those starts. So Phillies just the opposite, really. 26-7, their last 33, 16-7 at home right now, and they've gone over in 8 of their last 11. But at 8.5, I'm going to be going with the under here with the Mets and the Phillies today. And here we go with Fernando, and he says under first 5. He took the over 3.5. Oh, he's okay, gotcha. Here's Brent with the Phillies. Ron's got a Phillies first 5. Phillies are 30-11 in the first 5 this year with a couple of draws. Yelich likes the over. And Fernando says that steam coming in on the under here. Okay, well, I saw it too, and still going to give it out here on the show, right? And I don't want to generalize it because I come on here and maybe I give out so many unders, but remember when these unders are moving early in the day, books aren't trying to make it easy for the public to just say, hey, we take overs anyways. Why not just move it under? I think there's always good reason for it. But let's keep rolling. That's my play here. See, I caught myself, and you guys would laugh. I'll just put it up there because maybe I'm just, going through the motions or the doldrums a little bit, maybe getting back with the morning steam. Look what I did for the next one. Of course, it's a Rays and the Celtics, everybody. Everybody knows it's a Rays and the Celtics. So maybe I'm just, like I said, I mean, I probably don't have all the brain cells left after all these years, but that was a long time ago. All right, here are the Rays and the Red Sox in this one with Littell and with Criswell here. And, well, I know I got 3 games and I've got 3 unders, so I don't know. Don't want to trouble you with it necessarily, but you can listen to some of the trends here as we talk about this one with these 2 teams. Kind of a pick right now, and that 8 over 20. It definitely was some 8.5s out there just a little while ago. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here. I think handicappers favoring Tampa Bay for the most part, but check out Bo's video today on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Bo had an opinion on this one, so check it out. Boston comes in here with Criswell, 2.31 ERA in 5 starts. Boston's won them all so far. 23 and a third innings pitched for Criswell. Hasn't faced Tampa Bay, but Littell comes in. Zach Littell, 2.55 ERA in his last 3 starts. Tampa Bay starting to play better, 8-4 in their last 12, and they're under in 6 of their last 7 road games. Criswell's gone under in 4 of his 5 starts, and the Red Sox have gone under in 18 of their last 23 games. I'm going to go under with the Rays and the Red Sox today. Of course I am. Here comes some picks here with Fernando on the Rays today, and Jeff Schramm will take the under. Luis is on the Rays. And Ron on the Rays, probably. Luis says, what did I have for the Yankee game? Thank you for asking, Luis. I had the under. 3 games, 3 unders so far, my brother. It was all, yeah. So, and again, I'm just not going to deviate from doing what I think is right. I think if you look at once again, we talked about 2 nights ago, the unders kind of came rolling in, and yesterday I think we saw pretty much the same thing. We saw a lot of unders yesterday. 1-7, 2-7, 2-8, 2-9, 2-10, 2. Just 2, 3 and 12. Could that be right? 3 and 12, you guys. Overs yesterday. Pittsburgh, Milwaukee was an over. Mets and Phillies were an over. Oh, Padres. Padre game went over. Okay, 4 games went over yesterday, and the other one was the Cardinals and the Angels. So 4 and 11 for unders yesterday. So I can't apologize for rolling out a bunch of unders, you guys. I'm just got to Brent's on the Red Sox. If I feel like the under, we're going to do it. And I guess that would be a 2-day run of 9 overs and 20 unders over the last 2 days. Okay. Pirates and the Cubs here and well, because I love to do things like this and I love to put my foot in my mouth, I'm going over here with Pirates and the Cubs with Jones, who's been terrific. Look, we got 2 hot pitchers. if you were to look at how these pitchers are rolling, I would think you probably would go with the under as well. But I think maybe I feel guilty, like maybe they're just got a little bit too low here, even with these guys. It's close, man, actually, here. Maybe I should almost reconsider. I mean, these pitchers really have been good. I'm really just relying on my computer numbers sometimes on a lot of these picks. So if it comes, if the thing says 7.5 and my computer says 7.24 or whatever, I'm coming on the air and I'm giving out an under. Maybe I'll throw in a few of my trends too and put a little bit of handicapper's touch in there. But for Jones, this guy has been one of the biggest surprises in the league. One who maybe is, they said, most overachieving against his expected numbers. Jones here of Pittsburgh, just a 2.48 ERA in his last 5 starts, but very good numbers. He's gone under in 6 of his 8 starts. The Pirates continuing to struggle. We know that they've won just 10 of their last 32 games. Steele, 4.73 ERA in his last 3 starts. So, yeah, his numbers are starting to elevate here a little bit. Maybe I was kind of carried away with some of his early numbers are pretty decent, but Chicago now 0-3 with Steele coming in. Cubs are 13-6 at home. And I'm going to go over here in this one. I think I've described it right. Maybe I gave Steele too much credit in the intro. He does have a 4.32 ERA, I believe, in 3 starts against the Bucks. Can't read my writing on that. Terrible producing here. But I'm going to take one over here just to show you that I can do it in this one. Pirates have gone over in 7 of their last 8 games. And they've here in this one, and the Cubs here at home. Let's see, just 2-1 over with Steele. Okay, why did I think he had more starts than that? I'm still on the over, and it's currently sitting at 7.5 over 50. Bovada's at 8 under 15 right now, so maybe a little move to the over. Let's get your plays on this one, if anything. And let's see if you got anything for the Pirates and the Cubs. And Terrell says there'll be Pirates just aren't producing. Dre will go over. Winning wager, Cubs run line to rock here. And Jeff does like the way Jones has been pitching as well. Fiddlehead on the Cubs. That's what it is, Don. Maybe I'm seeing Steele out there and he has one bad. He's got the OBI syndrome. Thomas did take the over. Jeff's going under here in the first 5. And Terrell says, Ramon, what do you do? You can't do a Cubs handicap without reciting the weather. And Terrell says it will be blowing out. I'll just take the word for it of my crew, but I always like to see it for myself. 7-9, or actually the wind gets less pronounced throughout the game, but definitely blowing out to dead center. 9 to 11 miles an hour at game time, and 7 miles an hour towards the end. So that always helps. Darren does say, give me the Nerfy, though, and give me an under. So a little bit of Nerfy here. You got for Jones, he's just 1 of 8 so far, allowing runs in the first inning. And for the Cubs, you've got Steele 0 for 3 in those 3 starts. Pirates are 9 for 44, just slightly below average. Cubs are 12 for 44 in the first inning, just barely slightly above average right now. And solos on the Cubs. All right, we're almost done here with just a few games to go. How about the Athletics coming in here against the Astros with Estes and Christian Javier? We saw the news yesterday with the suspension of Ronel Blanco, and I almost believe Ronel about the rosin a little bit, but you still got to be responsible for making sure you manage that rosin out there. But again, what are we doing? We want pitchers to be able to control their pitches so nobody gets killed. Anyways, Athletics here against the Astros. And again, you just have the Astros, despite the fact the Astros have a very similar record, they're starting to move away a little bit now from the A's. Actually, they do have a very similar record still, but still already pricing the Astros like we know they're already much, much better. They probably aren't $2 better, right? I mean, sure, the A's have played out of their mind so far, even to be at 19-26, and the Astros have an unprecedented start like they haven't had in years at 18-25. But yesterday was 3-0. You don't want to necessarily lay this kind of price. It feels like with Houston right now, but you also want to be on the winner. So that does make make you hesitate there just a little bit. So I know what I'm. Boy, this one is actually because some widely reported steam came in here while we were on the air, and I was check out there's a video from Ben on this one. Check it out. Ben's got a video here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. So please check out Ben's video of this game.
Final.
All right. I'm almost balking here at this one, but I am gonna grab the under. After all, Tony went under on his video, and I did like what he had to say about that. But also with Javier here, I'm gonna take let me make sure it is Javier, right, and not Valdez. Yeah. In fact, 220 now at a few spots. So I wouldn't recommend on the air to anybody on the run line. I don't know. Probably could still take it. I don't think I'm gonna. What do you guys have in this one? Just how can you play the Astros? How can you unless you just if everyone believes that hey they are much much better than this record, they'll come all the way back. How much do they have to come back to earn the respect of to be a winning team? Winning Wager says it's time to start fading the A's again already. Dre might be on the under. Jeff has it a big time over. And Brent says it's safe now to start going with the Astros. And I think they're like minus. I think they might be even money here at minus $1.05. So maybe if it has come back now, and we're just saying the Astros, hey, that record, it was just a coincidence. Remember, they've had some injuries. They're kind of managing their pitching again as usual. They're minus $1 or minus 1.5 at even now. Got to lean A's. Estes shut down the Mariners. And, I just thought yesterday, too, we could maybe trust them. But, Estes, 5 innings pitched in that game and just 1 run, 61 pitches. So, he won't be running too deep in here like that. A's money line for Darren. Valdez has pitched a lot of games against Oakland in his career, 2.97 ERA and 11 starts and a 5-4 record. 5-4 record, that's not good when you're minus $2 either. I'll just take the under after all. Reds and Dodgers are our last game, and the widely reported steam did come in here on this game while we were here on the air, and it was on the under in this one, and I wasn't necessarily ready to do anything with the total necessarily. Right now, Dodgers at minus $3 or so, and this total, I said all the 8s would be gone, and they are. It's 7.5 over 20, or maybe even over 15 at a lot of spots now. As this one has gotten hit to the over, but I'm going to take the Dodgers on the run line right now. The Reds have a few issues, I would think, in this matchup. Let's see. Dodgers could only get one yesterday in that game again, but it is the Giants still. You figure with Suter here, this is a bullpen game. The Reds have still lost 15 of 19. Glass now gets his normal rest, so you get 5 strong innings out of him. He has a 1.29 ERA in his last 4 starts. The Dodgers have won 7 of his 9 starts, and they've won 17 of 22. They're 15-8 at home. The Reds under in 18 of their last 27 games. They are 9-12 on the road, but I think they're falling fast. It feels like I'll take the Dodgers. Where's the graphic here? I'll take the Dodgers on the run line today. We're just about done with the show early here. Yeah, Thomas Lewis, right? Kind of like you guys know who, Mr. John Stewart. Don't be going on any, John, if you're out there, with all due respect, thank you for always commenting, and you do a great job. And I'm not, I laugh because, John, every time you go to the Dodgers run line, it's too square and too chalky. And it's just too easy to go on there and take the Dodgers run line every time. But hey, I'm on this show every day, and I can only do like 6 different things. I can either go on the run line because I try to stick with the products that we offer here at Tony'sPicks.com. So it's either going to be money line, one or the other, run line, one or the other, or total, one or the other. So, all right. Luis might be going over. Fernando says lay 2.5. And Jeff is going Dodger run line. Here's Dodgers and over. Oh, these Dodgers, Tony with his backdrop and the Dodgers. Well, hey, they're great, and can't talk right now because my Padres, they might have an okay record, and they might be on the fringe of maybe making the playoffs, but they can't hit right now. Good thing they got a day off. Catch you next time. Let's go to the WNBA. I was going to sign off, but we got one game in the WNBA, and it's a big one. Don't sleep on this one. And I gave a video last night with Tony, so check it out. I kind of previewed the game. I don't know if I want to, hash it out too much necessarily here with this matchup. It's just a big one. The other night they said that game between the Fever and who do they play in that season opening game? Now I'm stumped, but it was the most watched game for the WNBA in 20 years. So no doubt this is a big deal. And you think that was big time? Well, now you have the Fever going to take on the New York Liberty, not only one of the best teams in the league, but playing the biggest market. So you got to figure. You guys are probably laughing at me, and I'm looking up that Fever game against, of course, the Connecticut Sun. We had the Connecticut Sun. But do have the Liberty, interestingly enough, the Liberty struggles at guard defensively the way I've been betting in them. I think they do struggle, and so I think maybe Clark can actually have a better game here. If you want to take her props over, this would probably be the one spot I might consider doing it. But again, the Clark props are just, inflated. Books are going to be waiting for your money. Now, they'll pay it out. They're not going to get too crazy because the sharps will be there. The funny thing is, one thing limits do is it kind of prevents the sharps from saying you can't get too high. That allows them to really pay off the retail customer and let them bet Caitlin Clark props. So you're not going to get totally a terrible price here, considering I think this is her best situation. Now, I don't know if they're going to have a decent enough game or enough here against the New York Liberty. The Liberty playing pretty darn well, I would think, coming into the season. And after that first game, hey, we went against them. We had Washington. But I think in this one, to me, I feel like this is going to be a game where the Liberty might be putting down hurt here on the Fever, even on the road. So check out my video. I talked about it a little bit last night, but my pick on the show here is going to be on the New York Liberty They're already up to 7.5, I think, in a lot of places. I see 8 now at DraftKings and Bovada and Bet Online at minus $1.05. So I'll take the Liberty in this one. And again, I want to give a little bit of breakdown here. Again, maybe I broke it down a little bit better on the other show. We were talking about the total. But again, I do like the matchup at guard all the time because I don't think Ionescu and Vandersloot grade out for me very well defensively at guard. Maybe for other people they do. But I think Liberty has some issues at guard this year. They might not be not just at guard, but also with some other position. I want to see Stewart make sure she's not done. I'm not going to say, she's a legend, so I'm sure she has plenty left, but we'll see what Alyssa Smith has in store today. And I would imagine that, Aaliyah Boston is turning into a very good defensive player. Okay. Thomas wants Liberty and under. Oh, gosh, that's just big time at -7. Our Tomps here. Yeah, it was the Sun. Jeff says Liberty should cover it. And Thomas says maybe under on the PRA, I think. Liberty for our Tomps. That's it. That's the show. It looks like you guys got your comments in. I want to thank you guys so much. Thank you. We got a short 1 hour and 1 hour and 20 minutes. Short show. I'll catch you tomorrow here with more morning steam on Friday. We'll talk more playoff action. Get you ready for a big sports weekend. Please join me over at Tony'sPicks.com. I'm going to get my picks up right now. The packages have the picks in them already. I've got my playoff picks in for today and a soccer pick as well. Hey, my WNBA, it's on the shows. You want the total? I talked about it last night on the channel with Tony. You want the side on the big game? I just talked up the Liberty here in this one. There's handicappers on Indiana. I've got it running pretty close, almost 2-1 though, maybe in favor of the Liberty so far on overnight. My overnight study work, if you will, reading articles. All right. Thanks, everybody. Hit me up over at Tony'sPicks.com. We'll catch you again tomorrow here on the Morning Steam. Want to thank everybody for joining me. For Tony, everybody make sure looking over the chat one more time. Appreciate everybody. All right. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott.
The fools who can't hang, coming with real game is sort of afraid. Trainers been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks, and it goes a little something like this.